Hi guys, good morning. Guys, if you can see my screen, just type S in the chat box so that we can get started. Yeah, good morning everyone. Good morning. Thanks for joining today. Fine. So let's begin the session. So we'll continue with the frames concept. Yesterday I covered what exactly frames are. I also covered what exactly iframes are. Now frames are deprecated or outdated already, as we already have seen yesterday. But we have to have some knowledge and difference, have to know the difference between frames and iframes, because frames we may come across in the older websites. Iframes are used in the latest websites also. And the purpose you already know, to embed the web pages from the same website or different website in a single page, right? Okay, those are the iframes. And I showed you yesterday what will happen. You directly try to automate or try to perform operation on an element using Selenium automation on the element which is inside a frame. Okay, so this was the example I covered yesterday. Let me show you at a high level what is that example. We went to this particular page. Give me a second. Yeah. We went to this particular page. Let it load. And on that page, there was a field. In that field, we have some text. I wanted to clear this particular text, but we were unable to do that because this particular thing was part of a frame. We identified that we have switched to the frame. Yesterday, we have written the code for switching to the frame for that element, right? Let me show you the code at a high level. Handling frames demo otherwise. Expand this. Okay. It's kind of slow. Just try to close the things that are not required so that, yeah, fine. Anyhow, I'll just open this file. And here if you see, we have opened the Chrome browser, maximize the browser, open the application URL, this particular page application URL went, and we try to clear this particular text. First, we thought of it's not part of the frame and try to clear that, and we got no such element exception. So this thing has not worked. Okay, without this particular line, we were unable to clear this particular text. So what we thought, we have inspected that particular element. We have inspected this particular element. And by looking at the HTML code, we went to the top. Who is the parent of this body? It's not a frame. Who is the parent of the body? HTML. It's not a frame. Who is the parent of this HTML? It's an iframe. It's an iframe. Okay. So that means this particular element is inside an iframe. So there is an ID locator for this iframe. So we have switched to the iframe here, driver.switch to .frame of. We have provided the ID of the frame to switch to that iframe. Okay. And we were able to, after switching to that iframe, we were able to perform the operation. Yesterday, if you remember, I gave an example here. Let's say you went to meet your friend. Okay. Who is your neighbor? Let's say you went to meet your neighbor or your friend, neighbor or whatever it is. There are some rooms here. There are some rooms. Okay. Like this. Okay. But you went here and assume that this house of your friend is nothing but a page. You are here and your friend is somewhere inside one of the room. Okay, your friend is here. So can you see your friend here outside on the page level? No, your friend is inside a room. Okay, so you have to go inside this room in order to meet your friend, right? Here you are nothing but Selenium and your friend is nothing but the web element. Web element is not directly on the page. Rather, the web element is inside a frame, is inside an iframe or frame. So what you have to do, guys, you have to make the Selenium go from the page level to the frame. Now, once you are inside that frame, the Selenium can perform the operation in the web element. This was the thing I explained, but how to make the Selenium move from this page level to this frame level? For that, we have to write switch to command, switch to dot frame of. If the ID is there, directly you can specify the ID inside the double quotes. So far, everyone was clear now? In the yesterday session, so far, everyone was clear now regarding these frames? Just type C in the chat box if you are clear. Today we'll continue that, guys. Okay, today we are going to continue that frames in a different ways. Okay. Okay, everyone is clear. That's great. So what I will do here is I'll go to the next one. I'll go to the next one. So if you don't make the Selenium go inside that frame and to perform the operation, you are going to get which exception? Everyone type in the chat box the name of the exception that you are going to get. If you are, then type of the exception or name of the exception you are going to get. If you don't switch to the frame and try to perform the operation, which exception you will get? No such element exception. That's right, correct. Okay. So this is the command for switching to the frame. This is the command for switching to the frame, and no such element exception is the exception that you will get if you don't switch to the frame and try to perform the operation on the element, okay, without switching. But now I'm going to show you the different ways we can switch to the frame using ID locator. The same example I'll take. Switching to the frame using ID locator. You now know why we have to switch to the frames and all, but switching to frames using ID locator demo, I'll say, with main method, finish. Now inside the main method, I'll write the code, guys. That is Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Then Control Shift O. Then I'll say driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Then driver dot get. I'll provide the URL. What is the URL? This is application URL. Copy this. And once you go to this particular URL, the same code I will repeat. I want to do something. I want to clear this particular text, and in place of that, I would like to type my name here. Okay, these what are the activities I want to do. I would like to go to this, and first I would like to clear this particular text, and I want to enter the new text here. Okay, so for that I'll right click here and select inspect option. You see here when I right click here, if you are getting frame options, there's a possibility that that particular element is inside the frame. Select here, inspect that. You will get the HTML code. Yesterday I covered this one, so I'm going fast here. This particular tag, whether it is inside a frame, how to find out? Body. And on the top of the body, we have HTML. On the top of HTML, we have iframe. So there is a high possibility that this particular element is inside a frame. Also on the top of that, we can use selector sub here. Okay, we can use selector sub. That will also help us in doing that. So,
Hi, Arun.
Yeah, hi.
So iframe is always on the top of HTML. Is this the clue?
Iframes
is always the top of HTML, like before the next to HTML. I mean on the top. iframe.
Before what?
Before the HTML. On the top of HTML. Always.
No, not like that. Not correct. Okay. For example, this web page is there. HTML is the root. Under that, there is some section that is there inside a iframe. It's like a room at a house. I told you just now, right? Let's say this is a page, HTML page. Inside that, these are frames. They are like rooms. Got it? They are like, frames are like rooms inside the HTML page. Is that clear? Raj, is that clear?
Yeah. So under HTML only frames will come.
Yeah. Inside the HTML only, inside the HTML, wherever they want to embed a web page, they will put the iframe. Okay, they want to embed some functionality or page. It looks like a functionality, but it's a HTML page. You see, HTML head, in that separate input tag is there. Okay, that's how they have embedded this part here. Okay.
Okay. So like this is the second page, like
Yeah, this is
wherever
another page, but it looks like the part of the same web page. But they have embedded another web page here and made it part of the same page. Okay, it looks like it's part of the same page. Okay,
Yeah.
from
Got
the
it.
same website. Okay, like that. Okay, so that's the reason. That's the situation that people use. But most of the cases, people use iframes to embed the web pages from different websites, and they want to look the web pages part of the same page. Okay, so that they'll try to achieve some functionality where it looks like maybe problem is here, solution is also here, like that. Okay, that kind of situations they will have to handle. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Every frame will have its own HTML, right? It's a HTML of another page. In this case, there are multiple web pages. Every page will have its own HTML, right? That will be embedded. Okay, that will be embedded. Kumari, got it? I'll show you more examples. Yesterday I covered this, right? I created a web page, and you have seen that if you remember. Or if you remember, yesterday I covered this. The box kind of thing I created inside that frames demo. If I click on this, we were able to embed multiple web pages. If you remember, this is one web page, this is another web page, this is another web page. As part of the single page, we embedded all these multiple web pages. Okay. If you right click and select view page source, right, you will see that this is HTML page, basic HTML, the general HTML page. Inside that, we embedded the page. Every page will have the HTML again. Okay. Every page will have the HTML. So that's it. Okay, so maybe the developers of the different websites will use a different mechanisms to embed the pages. That's okay. Okay, instead of they embed separate web pages, they'll write the HTML code inside the iframe and make that embed in the same web page. That's one technique that people may follow. Okay, is that clear, guys? Is that clear? Okay, great. Okay, we'll see that more. We'll see that. For now, let's focus on this thing, guys. Okay, how to switch to the frames, because during automation, if you have a frame and if you want to perform some element operation on the element which is inside the frame, it won't be possible directly. You will get no such element exception as I explained to yesterday. Now, if you want to switch to the frame, okay, if you want to switch to the frame, there are different ways of switching to the frame, either by using the ID locator, either by using the name locator, either by creating a web element of the frame. Okay, we have to switch to the frames. So here in this case, if I want to clear this particular text, directly it may not be happening, guys. For example, if I right click here and select inspect option, and here tiny MC is there, the body tag, control /body @ ID is equal to tiny MC, and under that we have the paragraph. Okay, whatever the element that we want to clear is there under this. So with the help of the unique ID locator of the body, I located this paragraph. Okay, so this XPath already I created for this. I want to clear that particular text. Now this is locating the paragraph text that I want to clear. So what I will do, driver dot find element by dot XPath by dot XPath. I'll provide the XPath expression. Text is equal to, okay, over the mouse, para text you can say, otherwise para text is equal to, and here I'll simply say paratext dot clear. Okay, paratext dot clear I want to do. So when I run the code, what will happen? Will it be able to clear the text? Tell me, guys, in the output, in the chat, you can tell me what will happen.
No such element.
Yeah, no
Exception.
such element exception will come, because this particular element is not directly there on the web page. It's there inside a frame. the frame may contain its own HTML body because the frame is a web page, right? Which is embedded in another website. Okay, the frame is there in HTML to embed another page, another web page inside our page. Okay, so you see the text has not been cleared. So here, if you come back here and see that no such element exception, no such unable to locate the element it is saying. The reason behind that exception is this particular element is not directly on the web page. It's part of a frame inside a web page. Okay, it's like that. It's there inside one of the frame inside the web page. Okay, we are here on the page level, but that particular element is there inside one of the room, like the frame. Frame is like a room. Okay, it's its own page. It can this frame is nothing but its own page, separate page we are embedding in the main page. Okay, that's why it has its own HTML, its own head, its own body, and all those stuff. Some developers will mention that HTML head body inside the iframe there itself in the main page. Some developers will simply provide the link to the page to embed them. That's okay. It depends on how the developers want to design and develop them. So anyhow, frame is there. We have to go inside the frame. So how to go inside the frame? Here we have to use a command known as driver.switch to dot frame command. But here there are multiple overloaded methods we have. Okay, multiple overloaded methods we have. Either with the help of index we can switch, or with the help of name or ID locator we can switch, or with the help of web element of that particular frame we can switch. There are three ways. Here, which one I am going to do? I'm going to take the ID or name. Why? Because when I inspect this particular element, if I go to the top, I know that this particular element is part of the frame already. So how to investigate and all I covered yesterday. So I'll go here on the top, and here parent of this p tag is body, parent of the body is HTML, parent of the HTML is iframe. That means this particular element is indirectly inside an iframe. This is a grandparent. So it has an ID locator. You see the frame has an ID locator. Copy the ID locator and here write down in double quotes, provide directly the ID locator of that particular frame. Okay. Provide the ID locator of that particular frame and run the code. Right click run as Java application. This time it will work. It will clear the text. Okay. Using the ID, we are switching to the frames. Using the ID of the frame, we are switching to the frames. So since we are going inside a room, which is nothing but a frame on your friend's house or something at your friend's house, the operation has been done without giving you no such element exception. This time, everything is performed successfully. Right? Now, I want to also type my name into that. Okay. Paratext dot send keys command you will use. Send keys command, and I'll write my name here. I don't want to. Okay. Now run the code. Right click run as Java application. You see, the earlier text has been cleared, and in place of that, my name has been typed. This is working fine. Okay. So this is the way we can switch to a frame with the help of the ID locator. Similarly, there are other ways, guys. Similarly, there are other ways for switching to the frames using name locator. This application URL I am going to take, copy link address, and I'll take this application URL for demonstration. Just see here. So this is the page we are taking. Here it may be frames or iframes, doesn't matter, guys. The functionality is same for automation part. Functionality is same. So what I want to do is very simple activity I want to do, guys. I want to click on this description link. What I want to do, guys, I just want to click on the description link. That's it. The moment I click on the description link, what will happen? It will scroll to the end of the page. That's it. Okay. From here, when I click on description, what will happen? It will scroll to the end of the page. It will come here. Basically, it will come here. Okay. To the bottom of the page, it will come. So how to confirm that description link has been clicked? The scroll bar will be at the end of the page after clicking on the description. So it will be by default will be on the top. Once you click on description, we'll come to this end. Okay. So that confirms that. But let's perform that activity of clicking on this description on this page. So for that, I'll write the automation code. New class. What is that? Website page. Okay. Oracle. Java 8. Java 8 API docs demo. Okay. With main method, I'll create. And here I'll write the basic code. That is, as if I feel like, there's no frame here and all, I'll try to do Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver, and Control Shift O, then say driver dot manage dot window dot maximize, then driver dot get provide the application URL, Then once I provide the application URL, now inspect this description link, inspect the description link, copy this link text. This is a link text, right? You see, there's some text between the tags. So we can use that as a link text. Copy this link text. I just want to click on this link. So I'm just doing this. Driver dot find element by dot link text. Provide the link text locator. Just give me a second. Provide the link text locator. Yeah, provide double quotes, put a semicolon. Here, provide the link text. Text between the tags you provide. Okay. Okay. Driver dot find element by dot link text description I provided. Okay. The link text I have provided. The link text locator I provided. But what I want to do with this the description link, right? Description link is equal to over the mouse on this and say create local variable. I would like to click on this link. Dot click. So will it work or will it not work? It won't work. Okay, it won't work. It won't work. That's the reason I took this example, right? Because that particular element is part of a frame. So it won't work. You see, it will go to the page and it will not click on the description link. You see, description link has not been clicked. You are not at the bottom of the page. So that proves that the link has not been clicked. On the top of that, we got this no such element exception because this particular link, that whatever you are trying to click is inside a frame. Is inside what, guys? It's inside a frame. That particular element is inside the frame. Okay. That particular element is inside the frame. How to find it out? Right click here or right click nearby, you'll get frame options. Okay. If you right click here, if you're not getting the frame option, somewhere nearby, you just right click here. If you're getting the frame options, that means this particular section or this particular element is inside a frame. Right click here and select inspect option now. So better you go in the local browser, it will be easy. Right click on this description and you'll get the Google Chrome DevTools. You can see here this HTML code of the description. The parent of this is paragraph tag. The parent of the paragraph is div tag. The parent of this particular div tag is, parent of that particular div tag is this body tag. The parent of this body tag is this HTML tag. The parent of this HTML is nothing but the frame tag. Okay, this is a frame. Inside the HTML page, we have this frame. Inside the frame, all this structure is there again. Okay, so that means this particular element is inside a frame or not, guys? This particular element is inside the frame or not? Yes or no? This particular element is inside the frame, right? Yes, it's inside the frame. So, but if you see the HTML code of this frame where this particular paragraph element is available, that does that particular frame has any ID? Does that particular frame has any ID here? ID attribute is there for it? No. What is there? Name attribute is there. Can you see the name attribute? I'll copy the value of the name attribute. And here for switching to the frame, this time I'm going to use what? ID or name. This time for switching to the frame, I'm going to use ID or name. Name I'm going to use. Driver dot find switch to command dot frame of. Here earlier I provided in double quotes the ID locator value. This time I'm going to provide name locator value. Simple. Okay. This will switch to the frame and the description link is there inside this frame. Okay. So here, if you see this, it's not an iframe, it is a frame, but the way of handling is same, guys. Okay. Even, whether it is an iframe or frame doesn't matter. The automation concept will be same for both. Okay. This is a frame. So, and inside the frame, again, HTML code is there. HTML code of this particular section is there. The page section is there. Okay. Either we can put the SRC and give the location of that and, We can do that, or people will write like this, something like this. That's okay. Okay. So it depends on the developer how they are building the frames. Okay, how they are building the frames. Anyhow, I'll right click run as a Java application. For embedding another website page or same website page as part of a single page, we can use frames, guys. So how the developers will develop is out of our box, but you see if it has clicked, we'll go to the bottom of the page. So did it click on the description link this time after switching to the frame using the its name locator? Did it click on the description link? Yes, right. It clicked on the description link. That's why we are at the bottom of the page. It's worked. And in the output also, you will not get any exception in the output. You see, you'll not get no such element exception, and it has clicked on the thing. This is how we can switch to the frames using the name locator instead of ID locator. Everyone clear how to switch to the frames using ID locator and name locator is clear for you? Switching the frames using ID locator, switching the frames using name locator is clear for you? Okay, great. So here I'll write switching to frames using.
Arun, can you show the
Sir?
frame name once?
Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, just let me change this name. Yeah, what do you want? Hello. Yeah, you can ask me now.
Hi, sir. Amrita here. Can you go to the HTML code?
This one?
Here, yeah, here, under frame. So every frame has separate body and HTML, is it?
Yes. It
This,
depends on how the
head.
developers. Every frame will have its own. It's like a page, right? You see, frame is nothing but a separate page. With the help of frame, we are embedding that separate page inside a single page. Here, how many frames are there?
3.
3 frames are there, right? 3 frames are there in a
Yes.
single page. So every frame is nothing but a page actually, embedded page. Okay. This is a separate page actually. This is a separate page. This is separate page. All these 3 pages we are embedding inside a single page. So every page has its own HTML, head, body, and all, right? Generally.
Okay.
That's the reason. Okay. Here you see, if you go here to the structure, there is a frame set. Inside the frame set, we have this frame. You see, this particular page is part of this frame. Here document, they have embedded a HTML document overview frame kind of document here. Okay. So which has its own HTML, its own overview list and all those things are there here. The complete head and body sections are coming. If you go to the body sections, heading is coming, div part is coming of that page. Okay. This inside a single HTML, again, separate HTML pages are there. Okay. Here also, this is another frame where another page is there here. Okay. So like this.
Suppose if two HTML pages suppose if there is a 2 HTML pages in a page, there will be 4 HTML code, like open HTML and closing, and again open HTML and closing, right?
Yeah, for every HTML page, that's the thing, right? HTML starting tag will be there, HTML closing tag will be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Page.
So yes. That's what, if 2 pages are embedded in
yes, it will
UI,
have HTML starting, and here somewhere it will have HTML ending. Okay.
Yeah. So 2 HTML open tag and 2 HTML close tag.
Yes. For every frame embedding a web page will have one HTML starting tag, one HTML ending tag. Okay.
Okay. And to get into the frame, we need to consider the frame.
Yes.
Like we need to consider the frame name or title like that, not the particular element name or title or ID, right? Attributes. See, if we need to get into the frame, we need to consider the frame attribute, right? Not the particular element attribute.
It depends. If you have this particular frame, let's say this frame doesn't have ID attribute. It doesn't have ID attribute. If it had ID attribute, I would have gone with ID attribute value to look at this frame.
Yeah, that I agree. That I understand. So if we need to get into the particular frame,
inside the frame.
yeah, inside the frame, we need to consider the frame attributes, right?
Yes, this one frame attribute we have to take into consideration. Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay.
With the help of this frame and by locating this frame, with the help of its ID or name or web element or whatever it is, we'll switch to the frame. And after switching to the frame means we are entering into the room kind of stuff in this example, right? I told you, right? So this is the entire web page, main web page. In that web page, what is there? In the web page, we have multiple frames. Okay, let's say there are 3 frames. There are 3 rooms. This page is like a house, let's assume. In the house, there are 3 rooms. Okay, 3 rooms are there. Your friend is not directly there on the outside of the house. Here in the house, the friend is not there. In one of the room of the house, your friend is there. Your friend is like a web element now. Okay, now you want to go and meet your friend. What you will do? Basically, you'll go to the go to his house. Now you are at which level actually? Page level. But now, if you want to really, can you see your friend from here? At this from this level, can you see your friend here?
No.
No, we have to go inside the room, right? You are nothing but here, whatever that I am dragging here is nothing but Selenium. Selenium by default will look all the elements on the web page. For Selenium, whatever that things are there inside this room or whatever things that are there inside the frame are not visible. To make the Selenium visible, we have to make the Selenium switch to that particular room or frame. Okay, once the Selenium is in that particular room or frame, then it can see the element. Got it now? Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how the thing says. But how
Arun,
to
could
make
you-
how to make the Selenium go inside this particular room or frame from the page level or from the house level? For that, we have to switch to the frame. That's why we use a command known as switch to .frame command. So inside this frame, we have to give something related to the frame that we have to locate and switch. Either we can give the ID locator of the frame or name locator of the frame, or we can also give the web element of the frame. Okay, any of the things we can take.
Arun, could you please write down the driver dot close in this script? And I'm getting a socket exception. Why so?
Socket
Because
exception is ignore the socket exception, that is not that much big. Okay, just it comes.
okay,
If you use driver.quit, it will not come. Okay.
yeah, but we are on the same page, so it will work.
That's not related to frames or something. If normal script
Huh,
also will get a socket exception. Okay.
okay,
Not related to frames. It is a problem with Selenium automation only. Okay.
okay,
So don't worry about that socket exception. If it comes, ignore that. But when we go to testng or something, right, that kind of exception you will not get. Even you use driver.close also. Okay. So, but in the main method, right, when you are directly closing the browser, right, you are getting that is not in our hands. That is out of control for us because that is something related to Selenium, where that should not come, but we are getting the exception. That exception should not come, but we are getting the exception, even though we are writing the proper code. There is no other way to escape that other than for a while using driver.quit, which is working properly. Okay. Is that clear?
yeah, Arun, understood.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't think too much about that exception. That even that comes for me also. Okay. We'll see that soon. Okay. Fine. So is that question clear for you? The other person who was asking me the question, is that clear for you? How we are switching to the frames and all those stuff?
Yeah. How to come out of the frame?
I'll tell you that later. Okay.
Okay.
We'll go into
Okay.
complex frames where I'll cover that. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
We'll come step by step. We'll go. For now, our intention is to, go to different type of this kind of elements and perform the operations. These elements are inside the either frame or iframes, whatever it is. So in that case, we want to perform the operation means we cannot perform because they are inside a room, right? Like this kind of stuff. Okay. We have to make the Selenium go from the page level to the frame level. For that to happen, we have to take some locator of the frame. It can be ID of the frame or it can be the name of the frame. So earlier when I demonstrated, right, in this Internet Heroku app, there was ID locator for the frame. So using that, by specifying ID locator in double quotes, we have switched to the frame. Now in this particular website page, we don't have the ID, we have the name locator, right? We have the name. You see, for this frame, if I look at the HTML code of the frame inside this is not the frame actually. This description is inside another frame. Okay, what is that frame actually? This is not the frame. So here somewhere it is there. Okay, this is a frame. So inside the frame, we have that somewhere here. We have that inspect this particular anchor tag is inside this particular frame. Okay, this particular frame. So it has a name located. You see, name attribute is there. So directly I copied this name attribute value and pasted in the double quotes. Similar, whatever I have done with the ID locator, same thing I have done with the, if it is ID or name, I can directly provide in double quotes within the frame command. I can pass the ID locator name or name locator name as an argument to this frame method. Okay, then it will switch to the frame. And after switching to the frame, I'll be inside this room or frame, and then Selenium can perform operation on the web element. Selenium can perform operation on the web element. Then only it is possible. Okay, Selenium can see only the page level if it is not switched to the frame. If it is switched to the frame, it can only now. Can Selenium see this external page? No, only this area Selenium is visible now. Okay, since it went inside the room. For example, you went inside room. Can you see the entire house? When you are inside a room, can you see the entire house? When the doors are closed for that room and all, you went inside the room. Can you see the entire house? No. Whatever the Selenium can see is only inside the room. Okay. Again, we have to make the Selenium come out of the room to see the entire house. Okay. So that kind of things we have to deal with, guys. Okay. While handling the frames. So anyhow, I'll cover that. So that is also completed now. So we were able to click on the description link. So as per the automation, what happens is this kind of situations will come when you are trying to click on a link, right? You are unable to click because that particular thing is inside a frame. We have to make the Selenium go inside that particular frame and perform the operation for that reasons. Okay. Okay, then let's move on to the next one now. Let's move on to the next one. That is the other activity. If ID locator is not there, if name locator is not there, how to switch to the frame is a question. Okay, for that I'll take this example. I'll copy this link and take this example. I'll just go to this example. Guys, can you see this page? Guys, can you see this page? Block pending task kind of stuff, which is created by me anyhow. Yeah, here what I have to do is switch to frame using web element. For that example I created. This is a main page. Inside the web page, inside the main page, another web page is embedded. Can you see that inside the same page got embedded? Inside the block pending task page, again block pending task page only got embedded. It's possible inside, and it's possible in HTML. You can embed the same web page inside another web page. Again, inside this web page, we can embed the same web page. Okay, like that we can do. Here, parent page is also a same page, and the page that is embedded inside the iframe of this particular page is also same web page. Now, the situation is I want to click on this home option. What I want to click? Inside this frame, inside this particular frame, if you right click here, frame options will come there. Somewhere here, if you right click, you'll get frame option. That means this particular thing is a frame. Okay. There's a home option. Can you see the home option? If I click on the home option, what is happening? Block pending tasks, social buttons. Some buttons are coming. Check our Udemy course, check my LinkedIn profile, check our YouTube channel, join our like that, some feed cows and all this kind of things. Home page is coming, right? So again, I reload the page. By default, it is like this, block pending task. Sorry, the page we are looking for this block doesn't exist, will come by default. But if I click on this home, the home page should come inside the frame. Home page should load inside the frame. Okay, that's what should happen. Let's try this out. Okay, let's take this URL of this page and come back here. Here I'm going to show you switching to frames using switching to frames using what? Using ID name. What is that? Look, using element. Using element demo. I'll tell you why I'm writing element here. So click on finish. Write the code. Here write down Chrome driver. Driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Control Shift O. Then driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Then driver dot get provide the URL of that page. Just now I copied the URL, right? That URL of the page I pasted here. Once I go to this application page URL here, what I want to do, I want to click on this home option. I'll inspect this, but this home option is inside a frame, we know that. But ignoring that, I'll try to inspect that here. We have this link text or, class home link is there, whatever we can take if this, we can take this link text otherwise, copy this anchor tag link text and something. Simply write down driver.find element by dot link text, provide the link text of that home link. Okay. Home link, I'll say home link. Home link is equal to, now create a web element for this. And after that, simply say home link dot click, home link dot click, home link dot click. Like this, I'll write. Now, if I run the code, what will happen? Will it click on that home link on the iframe? Will it click on the home link on the iframe? No. Neither you will get an exception. Neither you are going to get an exception. Okay. Did it click on the, what happened, guys? What happened?
Click on the home button.
Yeah, it clicked on the home button on the iframe or external web page. Because same page is there, na? Embedded page is also same. Main page is also same, right? Main page home button it clicked. What our intention was to click on the home link in the iframe. Inside the iframe, whatever the home link is, embedded web page is there, na? That home link you want to click. But what happened actually is, I'll tell you. Just come here. This is how it looks like, right? This is the main web page. In that iframe is there. Inside the iframe, the same web page block pending tag has been embedded. Now your requirement was to click on this home link that was there inside the frame, inside the embedded web page, whatever the home link that you want to click. So when you click on that, the external page will not change, but internal, that is the embedded web page, will take you to the home page. But what exactly happened here? I'll again refresh so that it will go to the defaults. Instead of clicking on this home link, since this page and this page is same, since we have not switched to the frame, the Selenium will only try to find the home on the main page or in the iframe. Where it will try to find? Selenium will try to find the home page or the iframe, inside the iframe. On the main page, because we have not switched to this frame, Selenium will try to find the, here, this home page it has found, home link, the same locator will be there. Click on that. You see, this is how it happened. This is not a proper thing. In this case, you neither got no such element exception, nor you got the requirement satisfied. Got it? This kind of situations also may come for you guys, where neither you will get no such element exception because that particular same link is outside the page or outside the frame also. Okay, but we want to click on the home link, which is in the embedded web page, which is inside a frame. So what we have to do to click on the proper home link instead of this main page link, if you want to click on the embedded page link, what I have to generally do? I have to switch to the frame where this element is available. Okay. Inspect this. We know that right click somewhere here. It's inside a frame. We know that. Right click, inspect this option. Okay. Let's look at the HTML code of that. This is the anchor tag. If you go to the parent of this is a div tag is a parent. For this div tag is a parent. For this div tag is a parent. For this div, this is a div tag is a parent. For this div tag is a parent. For this div tag is a parent. For this div, these are the siblings and this is a parent tag. For this div, this is a parent tag. For this div, this is a parent tag. For this div, this is a parent tag. For this particular div is a parent. So for this div, this is a parent. For this div, this is a parent. For this div, this is a parent. For this div, this body is a parent. For this body, HTML is a parent. For this HTML, iframe is a parent. Finally, we found the iframe in which that particular home link is available. Okay. So we have embedded this same web page inside the same web page by using the iframe concept. Iframe is there here. That if you look at the HTML code of the iframe, does it have ID or name locators? No. Does it have ID or name locators? No. I cannot use ID locator to switch to the frame, switch to this particular frame, nor I can use the name locators for switching to this particular iframe. So what I will do here, guys, what I will do, if ID is not there, name is not there, what I have to do? I have to create a web element for that. Right click here. Right click, not right click actually. You just look at this HTML code and try to create an XPath here. So here iframe, there is some unique value like title is equal to Arun Mutture. I'll copy this value of this title and simply create an XPath expression iframe. Here I cannot create an ID or something. At the rate title is equal to, at the rate title is equal to, title attribute is equal to, I'll give the value. Now is it locating that iframe? Is this XPath expression locating that iframe? Only one element, that is iframe element is locating. Yes, it is locating the iframe. So what I will do if it is locating the iframe, what I will do if it is locating the iframe? In that case, I'll use this particular XPath expression to create a web element for that iframe. Since ID is not there for the iframe, and since since ID is not there for iframe, name is not there for iframe. So we have to create the web element. That is the third option, guys. That is the third option. Okay. Since ID is not there, then name is not there. We have to create a web element for that. How to create the web element for that? If you want to click on the actual home link, which is inside the embedded web page, rather than clicking on the home link, which is on the web page, you have to simply say driver dot find element by dot XPath, create an XPath expression for that iframe. Create a web element for that iframe using the XPath expression. It will return you the web element, that is a frame element. Frame element is equal to, I'll write, pour the mouse on this frame element and create the local variable and simply write down frame element. Copy that frame element and simply write down driver dot switch to dot frame of. Here instead of name or ID, we are taking the web element, guys. Okay, we are taking the web element. Frame element I am giving directly. Put a semicolon. It will switch to the frame with the help of, this time it is switching to the frame with the help of ID or name or web element. What is that it is taking, what mechanism we are following for switching to that particular frame, guys? ID or name or web element. If ID is not there for that particular frame, we cannot directly provide double quotes and ID locator here. If ID is not there. If name locator is not there, ID is not there, name is not there, you cannot directly say frame of double quotes name, we cannot say. In such cases, if you want to locate that frame, if you want to switch to the frame, first you have to create the web element. If that particular frame HTML code doesn't have ID or name, we have to create the web element and we have to pass the web element to that frame command as an argument. Then it is going to work. Run this time. It will not click on the parent, the main page home link. It will not click. It will switch to the embedded web page inside the frame, and in that embedded web page only it will click on the home link. You can see that whatever the results you wanted to get, that will come here. It will switch to the frame and you see the home page is loaded where? On the main page or inside the embedded page. Inside the embedded page, the home page link has been clicked. You can see that clearly here, right? So otherwise, what would happen if you have not switched to the frame? No such element didn't come, but it has switched on the, it has clicked on the home link actually. Okay. This time it has clicked on the inside page. Clear everyone? Clear everyone how to switch to the frame with the help of web element is clear. Example is clear for you. How to switch to the frame with the help of web element is clear. If not ID or name is there. How to switch to the frame with the help of web element to perform the operations of the elements on the frame, inside the frame. Okay, great. Now, the last way that is left out is what, guys? Using index of a frame. What is the last way? Using the index of a frame. So generally, I prefer not using the index, guys. I generally use ID or name or web element. But let's say if there is only one frame available on the web page, then in that case, the same example I'll take. In this page, if I take, how many elements are there? When I will choose this index concept is, this is the one, okay? If I'm on this web page, how many frames are there? I want to find. How to find how many frames are there? Right click somewhere on the page, select the inspect option. Select inspect option in the HTML code, select one HTML line and say Control F, you'll get this text box field. Here, right? / iframe. 1 of 7 are coming. How many frames are there here? How many frames are there? One frame is there or multiple frames are there? Single frame are there or multiple frames are there? Tell me guys, how many frames are there? Total 7 frames are there. Okay. So that's the thing. So if I go to another website, let's say Internet Heroku or something, Internet Heroku app, iframe page. Directly I'll go to the iframe page. And here I'll right click here and select the inspect option on somewhere on the page. And I'll say Control F. select this line and say Control F. And here I'll write the iframe here. I'll write iframe here. And see how many outcomes came, how many iframes came here, how many iframes came here. Only one. Only one means that iframe will have which index? One iframe will have which index? Index will be 0. Only one iframe is there. Multiple iframes are there. We are very sure you don't have to, do all this activity like, select this, right click, inspect option, this paragraph, what is a parent, iframe, locate the ID is there or not, using the ID, let's switch to the frame. Instead of taking that headache, if only one iframe is there in that particular page, the simplest way to solve the problem is what? The easiest way to solve the problem is what? Switch to that frame with the help of index, because only one frame is there. So index will be definitely 0. If you give the frame index as 0, it will switch to the frame and get the things done. I don't have to give the ID. I don't have to give the name. I don't have to create the web element. When there is only one frame, index will be definitely 0. We can switch to the frame using the index 0. Got it, guys? Able to understand what I'm saying? Switching to frames using index. Okay, if there is only one frame inside the page, why do you have to need an ID or name or a web element? Simply use the index 0. That's done. Only one frame is there. It cannot have any other indexes, right? Okay. So easiest way to switch to the frame is by using index when there is only one frame in the page. Then the best way to, or easiest way to switch to the frame is by using the index. I'll write the code here. Chrome driver, since only one frame is there inside the page. Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Control Shift O, then driver dot manage dot window dot maximize, then driver dot get, give the application page URL where only one frame is available. Okay, one frame is available on the page. Okay, so this is application URL of the page where only one frame is there on this page. How can I confirm that only one frame is there? I'll create an XPath expression, double / iframe. If only one is coming means only one iframe is there. So here what I'll do, guys, I'll simply write down driver dot switch to dot frame of, I'll take the first command, that is index command. So I'll give the index as 0. We have switched to the frame. Now inspect this element, and it has a paragraph tag. Create an XPath or locator for that paragraph. /body, body, @ID is equal to, inspect that again, /body @ID is equal to tinymce, and under that we have /p. It will locate that, directly give the XPath expression of that element. After switching to the frame using index 0, because only one frame is there, we can directly mention the index 0. There is no other confusion. Find element by dot XPath, provide the XPath expression of that paragraph text. I'll simply put a semicolon here and write down para text is equal to, create the web element for that, create the web element for the para text, and simply whatever the operations you want to perform on the para text, like clear the text, and after clearing the text, if you want to enter your name, let's say send case command for entering the name. Let's say I would like to enter Arun Motori at Firefox. Okay, like this. If I write this and run the code, you see some error is coming. I have to put a semicolon here, run the code here, right click, run as Java application. Okay, so let's see whether this will clear the text and whether it will enter the text into that field or not. This time we have switched to the frame with the help of index, guys. With the help of index, we have switched to the frame. So did it clear the text and it has typed my name with the @Firefox into that? Yes, right? Is it working, guys? Is it clear and working? Guys, is this concept clear? When there is only one iframe in the page, easiest way to switch to the frame is by using index. Okay, this technique you guys can use. When you have multiple frames, then using index will be a complicated stuff. When you have multiple frames, it's better to go with ID or name, or finally go with the web element. I don't recommend writing some logic, to identify the index of the frames and then locating that particular frame index and performing that. But as part of the knowledge, you can have that. But in real time, if you get a situation where there's only one frame, the easiest way to switch to the frame is by using its index. You don't have to worry much about what locator I have to use for locating to that frame and all the stuff. Directly with the help of index, we can switch to the frame. Okay. Clear with the index, guys? Clear with the index thing? Everyone clear with the index thing? How to switch to the frame using ID? How to switch to the frame using name locator? How to switch to the frame if ID or name is not there? How to switch to the web element? If only one frame is there, how to switch to the frame using index with the index 0? Is that clear? Great. Switching to a frame using index 0 when there is only one frame on the page. Okay, when there is only one frame on the page, we can switch to the frame using the index. Okay, using the index, we can switch to the frame. So if there are multiple frames and you still want to use the index to switch to the frame, that I'm not going to cover now. I'll cover this at the end of this. Almost when we are at the end, right? I'll cover that because that will be very complicated. Okay. But I don't recommend this approach in real time. But just for knowledge sake, I'll cover this. Just for the knowledge sake, I'll cover this part. Okay. But in real time, either you have to use ID or name or create a web element, or if only one frame is there, use the index. Got it? If only one frame is there, use the index. If more than one frames are there, better to go with ID, name, or web element. Don't go with the index. If only one frame is there, easiest way is index. Index 0 will be there. Driver.switch to dot frame of 0 you write. That will switch to the frame, required frame. If only one frame is there inside the page, how to find how many frames are there on the page? Also, I showed you double / iframe or frame you type. If only one option is coming in the bottom, then that means only one frame is there in that particular page. Okay. So this is how we can switch to the frames using different ways. Okay, using different ways how to switch to the frames I covered today. So we have nested frames, parent, child, siblings concept is there. Switch to the frames using index concept is there. This many topics are there still, guys. Okay, so we are not in a hurry. That's okay. So if you have any doubts or questions, you can ask me out, guys. Okay, if you have any doubts or questions regarding this session, you can ask me out. I'll cover the nested frames. Nested frames I can cover, I guess. So nested frames I can cover, but maybe some people may leave. The time is up, right? So that's okay. You can ask me the doubts, guys. I'll cover this tomorrow. What's the matter? This thing I'll cover tomorrow. Parent, child, siblings. We'll see next. Then switching to the frame using index when multiple frames are available on the page. Also, I'll cover it at the end. Okay. These three concepts are left out. And for today, different ways we can switch to the frames with the help of ID, with the help of name locator. If ID locator is there, I directly will use ID locator. If the name locator is there, we can use a name locator. If ID and name are there, not there, we can use a web element. In case of multiple frames, we can use this process. If there is only one frame, we can simply switch to the frame using the index of 0, right? That's the best practice. That is the easiest way. Now tell me, guys, any questions, any doubts from today's session? Anyone have any doubts or questions from today's session? Or any other general doubts you guys have? Let me know. Guys, if you have any doubts, general doubts, let me know. Regarding the frames or regarding any other topic, it's fine. This is what I wanted to cover today. I covered it, okay? Switching to the frames using ID, name, web element, index, multiple ways of switching to the frame. Along with that, I covered a lot of your doubts already as part of the frames. But if you have any other questions, you can ask me out. You can ask me, guys. Okay. Is that working, Rajkumar? Whatever the code you have written, that is working for you?
This is working. That's why I have the doubt.
Okay, if it is working, you can use it, not a problem. So I'll right click here and select inspect option. Right click, select inspect option, and this particular tiny MC directly you are using for the element here.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll do one thing. Internet Heroku app, right? Instead of going till the paragraph tag, instead of locating the paratext, you are directly doing with that, right? So if I comment this out and write down driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator, which is on the top of the paragraph tag. Yeah, because this is also a section, right? If it is working, then fine. Otherwise, go with the child element. Okay. In some cases, it may not work with the parent. So I just generally directly went there. So by dot ID, I'll say tiny MC editor, tiny MC editor box, editor box field or editor box, tiny MC editor dot clear, tiny MC dot send keys. I'll give my name here, Arun Moturi. Okay. Here box, like this file type. Now save this and run this code and see what is happening. With this also it is working. You can use that. Any of the things you can use. Whatever that is working for you, you can use. Ultimately, we have to get the things done. Okay. Let's see what will happen. Yeah, it is working. That way also is working. You can either use this way or this way, no problem. Yes, Rajkumar, you can. It's working. You can use any of these ways. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is the best way I can say. And let's not go with the /p because if this is working with tiny MC, it's the easiest way, right? So we can make our code better always. Fine. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions you guys have?
Arun,
Yeah, Ashish.
in very rare situations, there might also be possible because I have never seen any such kind of thing, but it may also be possible like that frame is inside some shadow DOM. I mean, I have never seen such scenario or came across something.
Yeah, that frame can be inside a shadow DOM. In that case, first we have to, the shadow DOM I covered on the weekends, right? Basically.
Yeah. I mean, just a question came into my mind.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
may be there. It may be there. First, you have to, that frame. If you want to locate the frame itself is one of the shadow DOM element. Okay. If it is an open shadow DOM, then what we'll do?
get shadow root. I mean, the
And
same
we
way
can,
that
yeah, that's correct. That kind of complexities will be there anyhow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As part of the shadow DOM, the frame may be there.
Yeah.
So the frame is one of the shadow DOM element in that case. And first we have to, get the host which is connecting to that shadow DOM, and with the help of host we have to get the shadow root element from that shadow DOM, and after locating that shadow root, then with the shadow root we have to find that whatever we have discussed on the weekends as part of live challenging, right? That okay. But
Yeah.
that's something that we'll also try to cover shadow DOM as part of the weekday sessions because some people may not have attended that on the weekends. Shadow DOM thing I'll cover as an advanced topic. Just remind me, guys. Okay, just remind me. Once I complete the remaining stuff, right, we'll go for the shadow DOM, okay? On the weekdays. On the weekends, as part of live challenging, we covered the shadow DOM. That concept I'll cover to you on the weekdays also, the coming sessions, okay? As an advanced topic or whatever it is, I'm going to cover. Yeah. Any questions or any doubts? But if we can find some website where such kind of thing is there, we can easily, we can take that as a challenge and do it, okay? So that's okay, but any questions or any doubts here? Anyone have any questions or doubts? So we'll try to provide the details of tomorrow's session. While you ask me the doubts, I'll provide the details of tomorrow's session in the WhatsApp group. So here, today's session. So what about tomorrow's session? I'll cover that here. So again, the iframes will be continued for tomorrow also. Tomorrow, that is Wednesday. Tomorrow is what, guys? Tomorrow is, I think, Thursday. I'm not remembering the days also. It's going like that. Thursday, IST. And what is the thing? 7 a.m. IST. Thursday 7 a.m. IST. We are going to continue the iframes. Okay, going to continue with the iframes. And that is nested iframes. Basically, here nested iframes, I can say. We'll look into the nested iframes tomorrow. Nested iframes. And there is one more thing like sibling iframes. Sibling iframes. If time permits, we'll go with the sibling iframes also. There can be an iframe inside another iframe that is called as nested iframe. And iframes can be at the same level. Multiple iframes can be same level. One frame to another frame we have to switch. So when I'm covering the sibling iframes, right, how to come to the parent page, everything I'm going to cover. So a lot of things will be covered for you. So then this one. So in the 8 p.m. IST tomorrow, today it's like today 8 p.m. IST, we are going with the file reading and file writing with different classes. File reading and file writing mechanism. We are yesterday I covered with file reader and file writer. Today I'm going to cover this file reader and file writing with buffer reader, buffer writer, print writer kind of inputs in file input stream, file output stream, such kind of classes I'm going to use for reading and writing into the files. Reading from the files and writing into the files. That will be continued today also. Okay. I mean today also and tomorrow also the same thing will be continued. I feel so. If not, if that is completed, we'll move on to the next topic, that is collections framework. Okay. If this is completed today, then I'll update this with tomorrow. I'll update this tomorrow context. I'll update with collections. Okay. This is a crash course. But in the crash course, guys, one important thing about the crash course, I recommend everyone to attend if it is possible, because we are even though the name is crash course, but we are covering Java in depth there. Okay. If you guys are interested, join the evening hours 8 p.m. IST, where I'm covering the Java in depth. Actually, in the morning sessions, I have not covered the Java in depth, but here in the evening sessions, because of the people asking me the questions, I'm covering the Java in depth. Not just for Selenium, but as per knowledge also, I'm covering in depth. So try to attend the evening hour sessions if you are interested in such kind of sessions where Java is being covered in depth. Okay. In the 8 p.m. IST sessions. Okay. If you have time, you can attend. Everyone clear so far? Guys, clear? Any doubts?
One more thing, Arun. I mean, can we? I mean, I don't have any examples, but do we have a situation where the iframes are dynamically changing? I mean, maybe loading dynamically inside the web page.
Okay. I never seen such kind of scenario. But have
Maybe
you come
every time
across
when
anything?
page is getting refreshed due to the latest web apps, so sometimes it might happen like the content of these frames are getting refreshed every time whenever we are using the page, or some advertisement are coming or something is inside the frame, then there could be a scenario.
Okay, whatever that is inside the frame is changing, you mean to say?
Maybe web element, so that
Web element is changing, right?
now what we are doing is like we are using through the frame attribute. So if those elements are getting changed every time, and
Okay, you
when
mean to
there is,
say that whatever the web element we created for that locating that frame is changing.
yeah, so suppose we are switching to the frame using those attributes, but those are itself are changing or getting refreshed every time. So
Okay, maybe ID is changing or name attribute value of the frame
yeah, I
is
mean,
right.
I also don't have any such scenario, but
Hmm.
thinking like there could be any real time
Don't think
application.
developers will make it so complicated for the
Mm.
frames. Okay, in my
Yeah, yeah.
experience, because I've never come across. But if in
Mm-hmm.
case it changes, right, we have to take the constant of that particular ID and create a web element out of it. Okay. We have to create a web element. That's the only way. Instead of using ID or name, which is changing, right? We have to create a web element for that particular frame, for locating that frame.
But frames location will not be changed inside the web page dynamically, right? It should not happen, right?
You see, the first funda is here, very simple. If the application keeps changing, right, automation is not suitable, first of all, right? For that.
Right, right.
That basic funda, if you miss and then you directly go and try to automate something, if it keeps changing, right? then it's not, it's a waste of our time basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Every day it's changing means that should not happen basically. Okay, that should not happen. So if it is happening, we have to figure out a solution where whatever the things that are constant, that only we can automate. We'll do our level best in automating something that is constant. Or if the client insists that no, there is no other way, you have to maintain your scripts and all, we'll go and maintain our scripts according to the rate exchanges. That's the only way possible.
yeah, yeah.
But I never seen some frames related stuff changing dynamically. But we are going to cover dynamic related automation stuff also in the coming sessions. Maybe at that time we can think like what we can do. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. So any other questions, guys? Any other questions here? So Ashish, you there, Ashish?
Yes, Arun.
Yeah, Ashish, on the day I told you, right, about email automation, right?
Mhm.
Is there any possibility if you have some time, just work on this, okay, so that we can go in?
The only thing is like I just did some research on that. Like there are two things. Like one is Commons API, and
Hmm.
one is Java Mail API,
Hmm.
which we can use to automate. And to do so, I mean, earlier we used to have some Gmail kind of thing where we used to take some configurations, because to automate this email sending, first of all we need to get server configuration where we
Hmm.
can just send the mail. So earlier we used to get this in Gmail by providing our ID and all, but nowadays
Hmm.
I think there are some security restrictions they have put into, so that
Gmail,
the
email
in the
guys. Hmm.
yeah. And there is one more site, mailinator.com, where we can just simply send mail and receive mail, but
Hmm.
somehow we are not able, I mean, I was not able to fetch the configuration setup of that mailinator, that site is there, so
Okay,
that
okay.
we can do. So that's the problem actually happening. But yeah, Commons API is the one that we can use to
Hmm.
send the mails.
Okay, okay. Fine, fine. But the problem here is this application actually is not sending any emails. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there,
I mean
there we
that
have
that is
to.
also required. Yeah, yeah. So because I also
Application
tried
has to
for
be configured
dummy
with the email
application.
system. Then
Right,
only we
right,
can
right.
verify that, right?
Because for
Otherwise,
the dummy application, it is not
maybe if
possible.
not, what I'm thinking is, if not this application, will try to replicate that on any application that actually sends an email.
That's the
Okay,
reason I
that's what
just,
I.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that should have some real time or maybe some live
Real-time
application.
application we have to take. In place of this, we have to just for a learning purpose, we have to take a real-time application,
Right.
which can send an email, or there is some other websites also. Some people have hosted that. Okay,
Yes.
that also we can give a try. Maybe we have posted that on the Telegram group. We can try that because my hosted thing is not configured. It's in my control, but again, I am not that much interested in setting up the email part and all for that application. So maybe here somewhere I went there. Just give me a second. We have to say whether this is working or not. Okay, at least if they are configured with email or something, we have to see. I posted it long back. So yeah, demo QA. Not this one, I think so. This is not the one. What about this one? Hero QA app. A lot of things are there actually. The applications that we can automate. But something I found earlier, there was it's part of somewhere. No. is on the top now. This is our orange HRM internet Heroku, and then yeah, then somewhere I posted that link. I don't remember that tutorials ninja.com/demo, similar open cart application, which is there by other person. Just give me a second. Let me find it out. Net banking. Okay. Magento software testing board. Let's see. That is a e-commerce application. I think so. I think that's not the one. Then we have demo QA text box, Catalan, Heroku. I have some QA. Yeah, this is the one. I have some QA UI. Maybe we can try this out and see whether it's creating an account for us or not. I'll give a proper email address and see. Your account has been created. So we'll go to my Gmail address and see whether you see, congratulations, your new account has been successfully created. You can now take advantage of member privilege and enhance your online shopping experience with us. If you have any questions, what's happening? If any questions about the operator of this online shop, please email the store owner. A confirmation has been sent to the provided email address. If you have not received it within the hour, please contact us. It's coming. So, but whether they are sending or not, I have to check. To my email address, they have sent an email or not. If they are able to send it, then we can figure out something. Okay. But Gmail, anyhow, we cannot,
Yeah,
but we have to give another
we
email
need
address of another email
uh,
platform
the
because
code
Gmail.
and your username and password will also be required.
To do that, to go into the
Correct.
Gmail address.
To send in a live application, we need to have some kind of connection established between both of the entities. So that we need port number, that SMTP server, and also the username and password. So in
Yes,
that
yes.
case, that will be yours username and password if you are sending in your Gmail ID and all.
Okay, okay. I'm not getting that anyhow, but we'll find it out. Like we'll do some R&D on that. That is only stopping.
Yeah. Sending a mail is not a big task. The only thing is like finding these two things.
Email
Yeah.
in our email account or something. We have to see, right?
Yeah.
We'll see that. So, let's go and do some R&D on that. If you can get some solution or something, let's find it out. Okay, or else I'll also work on that. Okay. Meanwhile.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, fine. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Maybe that is one pending thing that we have to do to get things going. And other thing is like I need to upload the code basically and provide the updates here. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask me, guys. Okay. Today's notes, same notes, frames and iframes only. And coming to today's code. Today's code, is that not copied well? Yes, copied well. Delete for everyone. Yeah. Then today's code, I'll upload that to GitHub and give you the code of the frames related stuff. So I'll go here and right click on these and say properties. Click. Copy this local repos. Meanwhile, you have any questions, you can ask me, guys, no problem. I'll just do this task so that we'll get the code. Selenium batch 1 project, Control V. At least Ashish, if you can find a website where an email is being sent, right? That will make sense for now, right?
Yeah, I will try to search around.
Yeah, just
I'll
try
do
to search
this.
for a website at least where you are we are able to send an email to our, and we are receiving an email to our email address. Then we can think about second step where, which
Yeah,
email platform we have to use and all those stuff. Okay, where less security is there and we can get the details. Okay, that's the next thing we can
sure,
do.
sure.
Yeah, thanks, Sash. Then Selenium Batch 1 project, sorry, frames demo. Yeah, these are the topics. So you can find all the things, switching to the frame using element demo, ID locator, name locator, right? Using index, 4 elements are there here. This is a location where we have the code, today's code. And apart from that, assignment, is the assignment I can give. Okay. Try to, otherwise switch to the frames. Switch to the frames using different locators, different ways. Switch to the frames using different ways, like using ID, using a name, using a web element, and using index of frame. Okay. So this assignment I can give using Selenium Java automation. Whatever I covered in this session, that's the only assignment I'm giving. And today's recording will be uploaded soon. That's it from my side. So any doubts, any questions, you can still ask me, guys. If you have any questions or any doubts, if you don't have any questions, just type no in the chat box so that we can get to know the status of everyone. Or if you have any questions, you can ask me. Just type no. If you don't have any questions, just type no. If you have questions, you can ask me. Ashish don't have any questions. What about other people? AB, Kiran, Krishna Priya don't have any questions. Mahesh, Nigora, Rinki, Sandesh, Tanmay. Do you guys have any questions? Sandesh doesn't have anything. So what about the remaining 6 people? Tanmay, no. Nigora, no. 4 more people, I think so. Okay, looks like no questions. So that's all for today, guys. We'll meet in the evening hours at 8 p.m. IST, Selenium Java crash course. If you're interested, you can join. We are where we are, doing R&D on Java in depth. Okay, so you can join those sessions if you're interested. Okay, so till then, see you. Bye bye, guys. Okay, bye everyone. See you. Thanks for attending.